Hello, welcome to the GTG Games and Hobbies video blog. Today we've got Jamie Williams with us.
Hi there.
Jamie's going to talk to us about the new Yugioh structure deck that's come out, which is full of Lightsworn goodness. One of my favourite decks, one of my favourite archetypes. And Jamie's put together a Lightsworn deck that we've seen recently. Was it the Nationals, Europeans, Worlds, Mars?
He got top 4 in the Euro event.
There you go. So we're going to take a look at that, see what kind of stuff that can do for you. And the reason we've got Jamie along is Jamie himself qualified for Euros recently.
Yes, I did.
Well done, Jamie. And you might know a good while back, we did the Dragons Collide video from Structure Decks. And that proved a big hit. We built a little deck together. It was really quite special, and we think that this is pretty good as well, and we'll talk about whether you can get that kind of effect from a structure deck. Right, so over to Jamie with the first card off the block, and this is Judgment Dragon, probably the most iconic card of the Lightsworn deck. Jamie, tell us about Judgment Dragon.
Judgment Dragon is probably the best boss monster that we've had in a long time. It was released in Light and Destruction almost 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago actually.
Probably 5, yeah.
Yeah, but it was actually one of the first decks I played when I was starting to get into competitive. So I'm really happy to play the deck again at a competitive level. Judgment Dragon gains so much advantage against decks like Hat and Yugioh, where the deck can struggle against decks like that. JD gives them the advantage because with all the back row that they do set, Judgment Dragon can just wipe it away.
Just takes it away?
Yeah.
You think we'll see Starlight Road coming back because of this?
No. Starlight Road only existed for Heavy Storm. And
yeah, okay.
Heavy Storm's not going to come back, I don't think so. Well, yeah. But I won't branch into that because we'll have a Heavy Storm war in the comments.
Okay, so Judgment Dragon, big monster, the iconic card. And of course it helps with the milling. You're going to run 3 in the deck, sure?
Yeah, never run less than 3. Unless you don't have 3, but it's a common in the trial deck.
Yeah, trial deck takes care of all that these days. So, okay, so next off the block, what have we got?
Next we've got Curry Bandit, and that's from Dragons of Legend. That set come out recently, so it's quite easy to still get off on the shelves. I'm sure you can still get that set in.
Yeah, yeah.
Curry Bandit is great at the moment because it actually excavates. Now for players who haven't played recently, excavate is a new tier which basically reveal what you reveal used to be. You reveal the top 5 cards of your deck with this. You add 1 spell or trap from those 5 and put it into your hand. The other 4 cards go to the graveyard, so you're instantly getting 5 cards in the graveyard. That is nearly as good as Painful Choice. Painful Choice is banned because obviously the amount of control it gives you. Obviously it's nowhere near as good as Painful Choice, but it is a very powerful card that lets you get into your combo pieces a lot better, and I'd say that it is the card that makes the difference between this and if you were just playing the trial decks without Curry Bandit.
Absolutely. I played the deck recently with just 3 trial decks put together. I certainly couldn't compete, but the card's really interesting. I then used my own Lightsworn deck that I've used for the last few years with a few modifications. Added a few of the new cards. It was really good. I got thrashed only by Jamie's deck. Everybody else pretty much fell prey to the speed, and it had quite a few answers. I always found in the past that Lightsworn were good. They were a muscular deck. You know, it moved in fairly quick. But it fell prey to things going horribly wrong, but most decks do. But I think Lightsworn more than others felt that.
Raiden made it more consistent.
Yeah, the new cards, the Raiden, Minerva is useful, the ability to jump back into tuners is great. I love synchros. That's when I started, when the synchros came out. So I found that really good. The Curry Bandit, when I played that, those 5 cards dropping into the graveyard, especially when you see the cards that are contained in this deck, you'll understand why this fast, early game mill really gives the new Lightsworns a hell of an advantage.
It's also really good with the new rule that will be going into place this weekend when the trial deck comes out, the starter deck, which is the Pendulum starter deck. With that, you won't be able to draw on your first turn anymore. So Curry Bandit allows you to dig through your deck a lot. Combine that with adding cards like Solar Recharge into your hand, it gains those advantages.
Yeah, we'll see this as we move through, of course. So yeah, the new rules and the new structure deck, Hopefully we'll get a video up for that.
Yeah.
We're going to have some fun playing with that and testing it out over the coming weekend.
I already have the deck
ready to roll.
Ready to roll. I think people will.
Who's next on our list?
Next we have Light Ray Diablos.
In the structure deck?
He is in the structure deck, yes. Light Ray Diablos doesn't really make sense until you see a couple more cards that we're going to see in a moment. He's a dragon monster which can be special when you've got 5 or more lights with different names in your graveyard.
Back in the day that would be untenable.
Oh yeah, it would never
untenable.
Never happen.
Not anymore.
No. Raiden makes that really consistent.
Yeah.
So does Curry Bandit. And the fact that it's level 7 dragon is important because it goes on to this engine, which is pretty known to anybody who's played Yu-Gi-Oh for the past year. It is the Dragon Ruler engine, consisting of only 3 of the Dragon Rulers and then 2 Eclipse Wyvern.
Now we know the Eclipse Wyvern quite well. Dragons Collide, our famous structure deck thing that we put together. The Eclipse Dragon was a big deal in it, but now it's used for a completely different purpose with some of the nastiest cards in Yu-Gi-Oh at the moment.
They are the most powerful cards that we've had in years. The Eclipse Wyverns mixed together with the Lightsworn deck to allow you to banish your Judgment Dragon from the deck, saving it from being milled. And then you can combine that with the Dragon Rulers because the Dragon Rulers get milled and then you can activate their effects to special summon them by banishing things like Eclipse Wyvern.
It not only supplies a big muscular dragon on the table should you need it, you're kicking in the effect of bringing your Judgment Dragon down. It's just absolutely unstoppable, isn't it, when it gets going?
It's also level 7. So, Dragon Sack big.
Then we start talking about extra decks. Next on the list?
Next on the list, I'm going to group these 2 cards together.
Yeah.
We have 1 Necro Garnet and 1 Rainbow Karibo. Now, the build that topped the European Championships, I'm sure most of you who've watched this have seen that, to be honest, because you are researching Lightsworn builds. They ran 2 Rainbow Karibo. I feel that 1 Necro Garnet and 1 Rainbow Karibo is optimal. Necro Garnet lets you discard it with Lumina. Rainbow Karibo does that, but really you want to hold your Rainbow Karibo in your hand. Necro Garnet also protects monsters, which Rainbow Karibo doesn't. Yeah. That is the big difference between the cards. They give you a last line of defense.
Yeah,
like I say, Necro Garnet is in the Star deck, and Rainbow Karibo is from Legacy of the Valiant, which was the latest.
Most recent set before Primal Origin.
Yeah, before Primal Origin.
Okay, old favourite.
Yeah,
I don't think you'll ever see a light deck without this in. Honest.
And unfortunately it's a 1. We're not in Cluster Hell Japan, where they have 2.
Right.
But it's still a great defensive card and it's a great offensive card. And I wouldn't play Lightsworns without it.
No. Level 4, it's really versatile. Great card.
Yeah, great.
Very dangerous card as well. Let's move on to the new stuff. This is one of the most exciting.
That was all the non-Lightsworn.
Okay, so there you go.
So now we're moving on to the gritty stuff.
This is great. Love this one.
We have Raiden. Yeah. This guy pretty much revived the team. Without Raiden, I wouldn't be playing the deck. Raiden mills 4 on its own with its effect, where you can mill 2 to increase its attack by 200 for each.
Which you don't care about, instantly.
It's a tuner as well, so Lumina with Raiden instantly makes the new Synchro monster, which we'll talk about later. But it also makes things like Black Rose Dragon and Ancient Sacred Wyvern. I'm not running Ancient Sacred Wyvern, but it is something to consider, maybe if you want to, or if you don't have the more expensive cards like Draco Sack and Big Eye or Exaton Knight, you can run that instead of those and it helps them out.
It's one of the things I really like is when they do these archetypes. I mean, this is probably the best old archetype boost that I've seen in a long time.
This is the best one.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. I'm a little bit biased. But it's the versatility that comes with it as well. It allows you to play the deck in lots of different ways. You may not be a, I want to play tier 1 kind of player. You may just want to have fun with the archetype and do some really good synchro or even XYs, these guys, and you can do it. You can do it no problem with these, and it's thanks to cards like Raiden.
And what's more fun than summoning a 75,000 attack from Ancient Sacred Wyvern?
Yes, let's do that. We should do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Next card.
Next card is Minerva. I only own 1 Minerva. It's not as good as Raiden, but it also gives you a lot of combo plays. Minerva's a level 3 tuner. When it's normal summoned, you can have a Dragon Time monster from your deck to your hand equal to the number of Lightsworn monsters with different names in your graveyard. You're never going to get Judgment Dragon because you don't run 8 different Lightsworns. No. You can get Eclipse Wyvern in there. So you can get Eclipse Wyvern into your hand and then maybe next turn use it with Lumina. Yeah. It gives you more access to combo plays, but that's not the main effect. The main effect is when it's discarded or sent to the graveyard, you mill an extra card. That gives you a lot of combo plays, but also the level 3 tuner is something that we'll come on to later, which is
very important. Yeah. Okay, we're into some old favourites now.
This is all old standard stuff.
Yeah.
We're starting off with 3 Lumina Lightsworn.
I tried to play 2. Jamie gave me a hard time. I have to play 3 now.
Yes.
So, but there you go.
You would never, in my opinion, run anything less than 3. Lumina gives you all your combo pieces in every single play. Summon Lumina, get your Raiden, go into your Synchros. You can go into Minerva and then Exceed or Synchro Summon. You can bring back your Garoth to mill 5 with the possibility of drawing 2. Bring back Lila to pop back row that could be hurting you. Such as Mirror Force, which is now at 3 from the new list, or Dimensional Prison, the same. You can also bring back Aaron to send Giga Gear all the hand monsters back into the deck, which is very important. The hands are going to be another big part of the new format. So Lumina just gives so many combo plays that it's probably one of the best cards in the deck.
And Lumina's sister?
And Lumina's sister is Lila. Lila is your back row destruction along with Judgment Dragon. You don't need to play MSTs in this deck because of Lila and Judgment Dragon. I side deck them just because things like Dimensional Fissure, Macrocosmos, Vanity's Emptiness completely and utterly die basically. So.
Yeah, it's the end of it, isn't it, if those bad boys turn up. So you've got to be prepared. I mean, extra decks I think is a whole other video, isn't it?
Yeah, the extra deck. For this, I could talk the extra for more.
Yeah, you've got to be heavily into what's going on with your own meta in your local area, etc. But in the big events, I think that's a separate video. Garoth?
Garoth is a combo piece. When you mill for a Lightsworn effect, you can mill 2 extra cards, and for each Lightsworn that you mill, you can draw a card. This goes off really well with Raiden, because you can normal summon Garoth if you have a Raiden already on board. Mill 2 in the main phase, use the effect to mill 2, potentially draw up to 2, so it's a +2. Then you've got the ability to mill 2 more in the end phase if you don't need to synchro into things like Stardust or Scrap Dragon, or say you need to go into Rexton or Ragnarok to clear threats.
But back in the day, not a great card, he would be in there purely to make up the numbers, wouldn't it?
Garoth,
just
was Lumina Garoth, so you could mill a lot of cards.
It wasn't a big deal. No. He was just a level 4 with an awkward number, 1850.
Yeah, 1850. He's an evil swarm number.
And another name, and that was it. But now he's a real character and something you'd be happy to see if your combo comes up. Yeah. Another favourite?
Another favourite, but it's had to be cut down just because the format and the game has changed completely since Light Destruction came out, and that's Yugioh. Unfortunately, only 1 now. The game's too fast for Flip Effect monsters. We see this in the fact that Magician of Faith is now at 2 and will probably be at 3 in September. Is it the next ban this? September, August?
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah. Giga Armour is a separate case. That deck's given power by Giga Gear, which is now limited, but Yugioh is just there to hit threats like Ophion, which would hurt your deck really quite a bit, and also things like D-Fisher. So. Next is Jane. Jane is just a beat stick.
Yeah, another one from the past, a bit like Garoth, he would be in there just to make up the numbers. He's got his uses, not a big deal. I've always run this next card because I find it really useful.
Next one is Aaron.
Only 1.
Aaron is really good now, like I was saying before, because of the hands and things like Yugioh. Aaron just adds a lot more combos to the decks.
And it's a real nuisance as well, isn't it? You know, mermaids don't like Aaron.
Put the limb back in the deck.
Yeah, it's things like that. Those little mechanics where they want you to hit, even things like if they bluff a play, such as a Plague Spreader or a Necro Gardener, they really want them in the graveyard. They're acting as a defence, they're going to be great in the graveyard, they're going to surprise you when they come out, not when they're back in the deck, they're not.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's really cool. Yeah. We like Aaron.
Yeah, she gives you a lot of combos, and that's it for all the monsters that are on. Is there any questions that you want to ask about that?
No, I'm happy with that. I think that pretty much covers how my deck's built as well. The options of Lightsworn monsters didn't really vary other than number of what you could play. How many Luminas, how many Lilas, how many Ryko's until the new deck.
Yeah. the new things in the newer things in the Star deck, obviously you run, but the older monsters such as Rinyan is terrible. Flips them to put a card back into the deck.
I don't think that card's ever been good,
No,
is it?
it's never been good. It's a junk sinker on target, that's about it.
Yeah.
But Raiko is as well. Shire used to be good when people ran Christia, but there's a lot better cards now.
There's cards out there perhaps for specific metas in your local area, but by and large.
Another thing is Celestia. Some people do choose to still run Celestia, but she's a tribute summon.
She is. I like Celestia though.
Celestia's okay.
It's a pretty card, you know. Sometimes you just got to put pretty cards in there.
Yeah, sometimes you can run it as a one-off, but I think it does depend on the local meta. If your game is a slower meta with more decks like Hats, then Celestia's fine, but in a faster paced meta that you'd see at regionals and above, you wouldn't really want to play Celestia.
No.
Right.
Let's go on to spells and traps, more exciting stuff. This is where all the card draw happens beyond the monsters.
There's not many of them here. Spells will start with Charge of the Light Brigade. Not only is it a famous spook, but it's also suited for any level 4 or Lightsworn monsters in your deck.
So it's great, go get what you need to do the job.
And then mill 3 cards, so you're adding to your engine twice, so I don't see how you wouldn't run Charge of the Light Brigade. If it was at high numbers, I'd run 3. It's at 1, unfortunately. You may see it bump up.
Never dead card. Never dead in your hand. As long as you've got something you can go and fetch, it's great.
We may see it go up in the future when Judgment Dragon goes down. I think Judgment Dragon will go down in September, so I think we might see
it's been down before. Yeah. We'll see. Next one is an absolute must.
Yeah, next at 3 off, Solar Recharge. It gets all your combo pieces, ditches Lightsworns into the graveyard so you can use Luna's effect. Ditching Minerva with Solar Recharge is really good because you draw 2 and then mill 3 off it, so you're getting basically a charge of the Light Brigade. You gain a +1 and then obviously +3 off your mill. Technically, it's not a plus. But
these are explosive opening hands. I mean, Solar Recharges, Maneuvers in hand, Curry Bandit, etc. Right off the bat from turn 1. You're really approaching where you want to be, and it's not unheard of to see 10k first turns, you know, on your turn first. 10k on the table on your first turn.
I mean, I tried to build this deck as consistent as possible, which is why I'm not running things like Wolf, which is obviously a dead card in the hand.
I run Wolf!
Yes, Eddie runs Wolf, because he likes to sack. I'm trying to reduce the dead cards as much as possible, so...
See, I feel you have so much discard at your disposal that Wolf is an asset, but it is right. Occasionally you're pulling, but not very often. Not very often.
It's
twist
now.
It's not
twist now with the new rulings that you don't draw a fist. Because if you do draw it, then you're down to 4 cards, aren't you?
That is true, but then you just cheat.
Yeah, then you cheat.
You just cheat. Yeah, flip the table over, walk off.
Yeah.
Professional.
Yeah, exactly.
What's next?
Next is Soul Charge, and that is one of the best cards in the game at the moment, but it's also one of the most skillful cards in the game, and I'll probably have loads of hate for that, but it is.
Controversial, Jamie.
I am. Soul Charge, the fact that you have to manage how much you're paying, what you're summoning, you have to make sure that you have outs to your opponent. It's a very skillful card, but it also lets you sack. I mean, you can special summon 5 monsters from the graveyard if you want to go wombo combo. It's a great card. I would not run it considering that you mill loads of cards in the deck. It just seems like it fits perfectly, just like it is in most decks.
It's got synergy. That's the bottom line, synergy. On to some defensive stuff.
Yeah, we've got 2 Forbidden Lance, which is to help get the plays through. Obviously I'm not running MST, but Lance really does help get the plays through. When you want to go into things like Black Rose Dragon to clear the board of back row, before you get into Judgment Dragon plays or your Dragon Rule plays, you need to use things like Forbidden Lance in order to get those plays off. It doesn't really help against Black Horn of Heaven, which people are now main decking and side decking. Yeah. But if you have 2 Judgment Dragons and you just pull one down, Black Horn of Heaven, some of the other ones.
Traps are good.
Yeah. Traps. I only play 4 traps. You don't really need any more. 2 of them are kind of reactive and 2 of them are more defensively. We have 2 Breakthrough Skill.
Available in the structure deck, which was a nice treat.
It was an amazing reprint, considering that the card was really expensive and very bendy as an ultra. Very, very bendy. Breakthrough Skill is an amazing card at the moment. It stops the artifact plays dead on your turn because you can banish it from the graveyard. Also, if you mill it, it doesn't matter. That is the important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, another plus from the graveyard.
It's just Really good card for this deck.
We're going to finish off with
yeah, finish off with Phoenix Wing Blast and the nice champion patterns. Phoenix Wing Blast is just a way to get out of it in Exceeds and Synchros, and you can ditch your dead cards like Necro Gardener and things that you don't want, or you can put your Dragon Rulers in there, or it can give you the 4 Lightsworn that you need for your G, basically.
Fantastic, so there you go. So I'm sure you'll agree, or maybe you won't. Do leave comments, let us know. That's a pretty strong build. If you want to make that up and try it out with your meta, see how it works for you, then do let us know. We always welcome the comments. We're going to try these out over the weekend. We're going to put it up against something. I know Jamie's got a Blackwing deck lined up.
That's more fun, to be honest.
Yeah, okay.
I have
we'll give it a try.
as well.
So, let's talk about cards that aren't in there. One obvious one springs to mind, Dark Hole. Where's Dark Hole?
Dark Hole. With Dark Hole, the format has sped up considerably since Dark Hole was previously unbanned. And the format is easier to replace monsters when they're summoned.
Yeah, I agree.
Things like Judgment Dragon, the Dragon Rulers, artifacts, hands, all those monsters can replenish themselves really easily, and as well as Evil Swarms, Pandemic. Yeah. And then you also have other cards to that nature.
Yeah. So you're clearing the table, and then the next instant they're all back again, and you've basically, that was a dead card, I guess is what you say. Although you've played it, it's become redundant.
Yeah, it's redundant half the time. It doesn't help with play. So.
Okay. Let's talk about 2 others, notable. Bottomless Trap Hole and Dimensional Prison?
Yeah, the battle traps and the reactive traps such as Bottomless Trap Hole, Soul Warning, Torrential Tribute, Dimensional Prison and Mirror Force are very good cards at the moment, especially since we've gone into a new format. Nobody really knows what's going on at the moment. We can assume that Lightsworn are going to be a very high contender for this month-and-a-half long format that we're going to have because of results from Euros. Yeah. But we can also assume Mermails are going to be high as well. Okay. Things like Bottomless Trap Hole are good against those decks, as well as Warning and Deep Prison. Unfortunately, it's space. Okay. As well as the fact with the Lightsworns milling the cards, if they mill them, they're useless. They can't do anything in the graveyard, and they don't help when I have brick hands. Phoenix Wing Blast helps when you have a brick hand. That's what's in there.
Of course, there's one card that isn't in there that really should be. Where's Curse of Anubis, man?
Well, it's not a tier card. It's an edit card.
Curse of Anubis, Lightsworn of Anubis. Watch this space. You know, I'll be bringing my legendary tier -11 build.
I will tell you. Next Nationals, I will bring one Curse of Anubis.
There you go. You heard that. We're going to hold into that. Extra deck. That's got to be important for these guys.
Yeah, it has. And we're going to start off with the new card, which is Michael.
It's fabulous.
It's
Michael!
It is Michael. He is summonable with a tuner and one or more non-tuner light monsters. So he's powerful in other decks, not just Lightsworns. Also, he has an effect similar to Judgment Dragon. You pay 1,000 life points to banish a card, which is great.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It gets rid of hand.
A card, not a monster, not a face-up monster, not a set monster. Yeah, a card.
It's great. Great against the hands, great against the opponent's Lightsworn decks, banishing cards that they need on the field. And he also mills 3, and he also recycles Lightsworns if you're getting close to death.
Perfect.
Now, he does so much.
Yeah, absolutely great. Really like that card.
Yeah.
How many are you putting in the extra deck? One? Just the one?
Only
not
one.
two?
There's not enough space in the extra deck.
Okay.
The extra deck's very tight. I've already had to cut a card that I'm going to
It's always so hard. 15 cards, you know, and there's all that lovely stuff out there.
Yeah. I'll actually talk about that card in a second. Now what we're going to show is the new card that has come back off the Forbidden Unlimited list, which is in effect.
Everybody's very excited about this one.
Yugioh Guardian.
Yugioh Guardian!
Yugioh Guardian is an amazing card, and we're getting even closer to having this deck being nearly exactly as it was all those years ago.
But with more violence.
Yes, exactly. Yugioh Guardian is summonable with Minerva and Lumina, so it's not difficult at all.
We've been crying out for a level 6.
Yeah, level 6 terrible. Level 6. As soon as Brinac was banned.
Yeah, that was it. There was Yugioh, there was Brinac that were great. And then you got what, Iron Chain Dragon?
HTS Sahimoth's okay, it's DD Warrior Lady. Paladin Zactron's okay.
Yeah.
Again, they're both okay. We don't have Divine Beast Vulcan because we are in the UK, which means we can't use jump promos. And that card's only good in Fire Fist, really. Yeah,
so we're very happy to see Yugioh. We welcome him back with open arms as he steals our creatures.
Yes.
So yeah, Yugioh and
next up,
Faithful.
we have Black Rose Dragon to clear the board and make plays for you later on in the
Black Rose Dragon go boom.
Yes.
Yeah, just kills everything.
Yeah, I don't think we need to say anything else.
But again, Jamie mentioned earlier, you don't want to just drop your Judgment Dragon down. There's nothing worse than your opponent just saying, well, you know what, Solemn Warning. Get that Black Rose Dragon down, blast the field. If he's going to pull anything, it's going to have to be then, isn't it? It's got to be then, he's got to do it. So you just throw him in.
Applies pressure, which is also why I'm running next on that in the extra deck. Just apply as much pressure as possible before I make my game pushes.
Yeah. Next one.
Next one, Crimson Blader. This is meta core. I played 2 locals, and I think that we're going to see a lot of Lightsworn on both.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well as Dragon Rulers and Mermails. So Crimson Blader beats those 3 decks.
Yeah.
So that's why it's in there. The elevated synchros are quite hard to turn into. You have to summon Raiden and something else. So you can do them off a Soul Charge.
Yeah.
You don't really want to summon this off Soul Charge though, because you can't attack. But you can do it. It's a bit more difficult, but you need them in there in case you can.
Yeah. The effect, basically, just in case you're watching and don't know, when Crimson Blader hits a monster, as long as he does his thing, then your opponent suffers from not being able to summon level 5 or above.
Level 5 or higher. It's great against Monarchs as well.
Yeah.
They can't really normal summon.
So it really can stop a lot of decks dead in their tracks. So it's a good card.
Next up, we have Old Faithful again, Stardust Dragon.
Stardust Dragon. Everybody should know Stardust, but just in case. Stardust negates a destruction, goes to the graveyard, is sent there. Sorry, banished.
Yeah, sent to the graveyard.
Sent to the graveyard, I forget. And then at the end of the turn, he's going to come straight back to you. He's a lovely card.
Yeah, he's
always been good.
And I think he always will be good until we get something better, obviously.
Yeah.
Next card, which is going to be a hint to the deck I was talking about earlier, the new Pendulum deck, which will be Scrap Dragon.
Yeah.
Scrap Dragon is just a great card for cleaning back row. It's another pressure card, like we were saying earlier with Black Rose Dragon. That's all it's in there for, really.
I suppose the only downside to that guy is you may not have as much on the field because you don't have any back row to throw away. Really.
You can get rid of things like Dragon Rulers. So Dragon Rulers just can come out and then pop things.
Yeah, because they're good.
Yeah, he can pop himself as well.
Of course, yeah.
I pop himself a lot. Pop himself and then you can banish it for Dragon Rulers.
There you go.
It's not a deck card.
Next one.
Next one, it's something I'm considering cutting. It's quite difficult to go into. I'd probably prefer to run Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand, but I don't have one. So
I just happen to have 2.
there we go.
Oh, there we go.
That'll
be good after this video.
That will be done after this video.
So go on, tell us why you put this in initially.
We had Leo, Keeper of the Sacred Tree.
Yeah.
It is quite difficult to go into. It's a very high level, but it can't be targeted.
Yeah.
Apart from the main phase 2. So it's a big beat stick that can't be targeted, that's why it was in there basically.
Yeah. A big safe block.
Yeah.
Brick on the table.
Basically.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
That was all for the Synchro monsters. Extra deck Exceed monsters. This is where it gets very expensive. So if you're budget player, I'd recommend replacing these with other things like I was saying. Even Sacred Wyvern is a good card. You can also run things like Sun Dragon of Heliopolis, send 2 JDs underneath itself, just stop you decking out basically.
Yeah.
Things like that. So yeah, I'm going to get on with it. First we have Evil Swarm Exciter Knight. The adorable, expensive card that he is. Again, another pressure that forces them to try and get rid of it.
What's his effect?
In their field.
What's his effect?
Right, his effect, because I believe there will be quite a few people who don't know, because he is quite expensive.
Yeah, well, I haven't got one.
No. Exton Knight. When you have less cards than your opponent, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls.
Outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that outrageous hands. So.
Yeah, okay, we approve.
Yeah. Next one.
I know this one, I hate this one.
Yes, against Ledge Oak. Number 101, Sell It on the Rock. It's a relinquished on legs as an Exceed. Gets rid of problem cards. Gets rid of things that are quite hard to get into. Like, for an example, as we were saying earlier, Yugioh.
Destroys my battle boxes. Outrageous card, hate it. Okay. Go on, but I haven't got one. That's why I hate it. Next up.
Next up is Larval Chain in a very hard to find over here dual terminal one. Larval Chain. Larval Chain. adds combo pieces. You can put your Judgment Dragon on top of the deck, you can send Eclipse Wyvern or a Dragon Ruler to the graveyard to combo off, or you can send your 4 Lightsworn to the graveyard.
Good utility card.
Yeah. Next up is Abyss Dweller. This is just anti-meta. The hands, other Dragon Ruler decks, Mermails, I wouldn't not run it in the extra deck. It's just too good at the moment.
And easy to get into. 2 level 4s, yeah?
Yeah, 2 level 4s.
Yeah, so dead easy to get into.
Next two, because we run Lunas, so we can rank 3 exceed. Ghost Trick Alucard. Again, it provides pressure about destroying back row.
Yeah.
That's Temp Tempo. Run Temp Tempo because it's now to Ophion.
Okay, there you go. And out to Ophion.
Yeah. More expensive cards. We've got Dracosac, which is getting a reprint in the tins as another secret rare.
Oh, okay.
So it's still going to be hard to get. So.
Yeah, okay.
Dracosac, we're running Dragon Rules. He can special in 2 tokens and then he has a Scrap Dragon effect. And he protects himself from tokens. Next, a card that had a reprint but is still expensive. Number 11, Big Eye.
Great card.
Yeah, it's another Goya.
Yeah, him and the Arc as well. Probably my most hated cards to come up against at the moment.
Yeah.
But I've got one of them, so I'm not too bad with that. So there we go. A full deck, an extra deck. Yes, that extra deck is a bit pricey, but there's plenty of options. There's so many Exceed cards and synchros that you can now look at again for this deck that you perhaps couldn't before because you couldn't have the consistency and putting them down there. You can have fun with things like Colossal Fighter, which
Colossal Fighter is really good for the mirror. So if you've got space, I'll put it in. Yeah,
there's lots of things you can look at and have a think about. That's going to be it for us now. I want to thank Jamie for showing off his Lightsworn deck. We'll get some gaming done over the weekend. We'll look at the Pendulum decks, of course. I think that's going to be our next presentation. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We'll pop out messages. I'll also leave the site for Jamie's video blog in which he reveals all his deck profiles, and you can see some class decks put together with explanations on how to use the combos as well, and hopefully you'll find that really useful. I'm Eddie, and from Jamie we're going to say bye-bye, and
see you later, guys.
See you for the next one. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much. See you later.